Hey, it's me, GV, and welcome back to Vaughn of Vitriolic. Ladies and gentlemen, we're doing a late night recording, so it might be a little bit more relaxed and a little bit more quiet because my partner will be sleeping, but I have some extra time. And I wanted to get more kind of like earlier recordings done for LA Noire because I'm very interested in where this story is going to go from here on out. We're playing as Cole that has been demoted to the arson desk. And obviously, did you just jump over nothing there? What was that? Obviously, yeah, there's some foul play going on here. I thought we were farther from this place, weren't we? Investigate Gulliver's Travel Agency. Investigate Suburban Redevelopment. Yeah, and then if we go to Intuition, there should be no show all clues. So we should be good. Also, we have not gone back and changed our outfit, which I don't even remember how to do. People, clues, locations, intuition, case, objectives. How do we change our outfit? Is it just in options, map, log, outfits? Oh, I didn't see that. So, the sharpshooter, the broad hit harder and take more punches before going down. Why do we not switch to that? The Sunset Strip I like as well. And then, yeah, some of these actually have different benefits. The Chicago Lightning, shoot straight with the Thompson BAR and shotgun. Hey, let's go for that. I don't know when we got these or where, but it is interesting that there's these little gameplay mechanics that do let you do certain things. Okay, so it looks like we've got to go follow up on these two fires because everybody, as usual, is like, there's no foul play here, whatever. There ain't no foul play. Meanwhile, like, both of these people were going on trips, basically, and then their houses burned down. So definitely something seems to be up. I always give them time to talk, and then they don't talk. Yeah, it's interesting now, too, that we're kind of in the suburbs of LA.
Any central unit, ambulance shooting. Any central unit, identify.
An ambulance shooting. Yeah, to be honest with you, with the dispatch calls, I'm just really not that interested. If this were 100% playthrough for sure, but obviously where this game shines is the cases, kind of going through them and sticking with them, and again, kind of doing the other stuff is fun. But it would be its own little bonus episode or something like that, like sprinkling them into the normal episodes, you know, when we have to kind of stay knowledgeable as to what's going on with these cases, would be a bit of a mistake, if you ask me personally. So yeah, so we need to go to Gulliver's Travels, which is a travel agency, where both of these families, one which was safe because they were on a trip, the other one, I think, went home, and then they all burned in the night, which is gruesome to say the least. I just saw a travel agency right there, but it's past it over here, it looks like. Gulliver's Travel Agency, which is a reference to Gulliver's Travels, unless this was a real agency back in the late 40s, I guess.
Detectives Phelps and Biggs, LAPD.
John Cunningham. Can I help you, gentlemen?
We have reason to believe that the Sawyer family of 4414 Rosewood Avenue recently won a competition run by your company.
Yes, I remember them. They called up to cancel at the last minute. One of the kids was sick. Very unfortunate.
Do you mind if I take a look at that?
So that guy is straight up from Mad Men. He was like a more major character. So was Cole. Cole was from Mad Men. This dude was from Mad Men. I swear to God, there's at least like 2 or 3 other people, which I did really enjoy, but I was a little young when I was watching it, so like I bet I would get way more out of it now. I'm curious to see. It doesn't feel like a show that people talk about as often as you would think, if that makes sense. So that one was issued and canceled to Catalina Island. 3 by ferry to Catalina, which is a classic joke in Step Brothers. Lamb? Name is Lamb. Okay, so we're looking for anything else that sounds familiar. The other one was the Family of 4, right? Family of 4 by flying boat to Catalina. Collected, tickets collected. Wait, so the one that was canceled, 3. But it was a family of 4 that would have canceled and burned, right? Family of 4. Oh, that one's scratched out too. Issued but canceled, so maybe this one. Yeah, Sawyer.
The Sawyer family, Rosewood Avenue.
Okay, looks like we may still be trying to find something here. Family of 4, collected on hold, issued. So let's see if we can maybe recognize any of these other names. Zenkowski, Young, Adano, Carabianco, Manelli, Sawyer, Lamb, Rivera, Gallagher, Jimenez, Steffens, Boyle, Pion, Painter, Guilford, Elmone. Group of 4, family. So it's interesting that it's like groups and families. I don't know what I'm supposed to be looking for, to be honest. We might just literally have to tap B to get out of here. But that would be bad if there is something else to be grabbed here. Let's go. Family of 3 by flying boat, 3 by flying boat, 2 by flying boat. Family of 8. That's quite a big family. It might just be the other one that was issued, this one. But he's not doing anything. Oh, so I guess we're just looking for the other family, maybe. I don't remember. It was Steffens, wasn't it?
Here they are. Steffens.
Okay. John Cunningham, age 34, Gulliver's Travel Agency sales representative. Suburban Redevelopment.
Tell us about the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
There's not much to tell. They run a promotion. Our promotions mailing list covers half of LA.
That seemed pretty straightforward. He's looking at us dead on in the face.
So they are not a government agency?
I don't believe so. Government organizations don't usually get involved in promotions.
Okay, promotional travel contest.
I'm told the tickets were a prize.
Yes, they were.
You do a lot of these prizes.
Look, there are hundreds of these promotions running at any one time. If you're the lucky guy, you get your name pulled out of a hat.
Okay, that was definitely dodgy as hell. I don't know if we have a lie, if we have evidence to go against that. Suburban competition ticket. Yeah, so I'm going to say doubt.
While the Sawyer family were supposed to be at Catalina Island, their house burnt down. You consider them lucky?
Christ. I'm sorry to hear that.
Can you tell me who offered the prize won by the Sawyer family?
Sure. Look, there's supposed to be some sort of supervised draw with hundreds of tickets. But the reality is the Suburban Redevelopment Fund calls me every couple of weeks and tells me exactly who has won.
Thanks for your help.
No problem. I just wish I could do something for that family.
You could put round the hat. A few bucks would really help them now.
I suppose so.
Good. I'll put you down for 50. I could tell you were Samaritan the minute I walked in the door.
50? Are you?
Good man, Cunningham. You're all right.
Yeah, I'm great. Poorer, but great.
So that's interesting. So the development fund basically calls them and tells them who wins. So it's rigged pretty much. Yeah, it seems like a scheme where they're literally sending people out on trips and then burning their houses down. They probably didn't realize the other family was going to cancel and then be there, which is obviously horrible. That's incredibly gruesome. So, Suburban Redevelopment, which I have a vague memory.
Let me guess. You want to check out the Suburban address?
Great partners must think alike, Herschel.
Yeah, I have a vague memory of the dude that was on those billboards. That guy, like, right there.
Any available unit, meet the officer. 211 just occurred at 253 Main Street. Unit to handle code 2. Identify.
I feel like it's the dude from Fringe. It's that main scientist guy, which I've never really seen Fringe, but I've seen that guy. I'm trying to remember if he was in Lost, because Fringe was made by, like, J.J. Abrams, or at least the people that were running Lost, right? I remember it was kind of tied to it. And I remember they had that main scientist guy, who I've definitely seen in a bunch of different stuff. So I feel like that could be him. I have, like, a vague memory, although I could absolutely be wrong as well. But it's basically the face of the guy that we've been seeing on those Suburban Redevelopment billboards, pretty much. So, I'm curious to see if I'm correct there. Let's do a little handbrake here. Woo! Oh my god. Also, yeah, I was thinking I really need to look into the team Bondi. I forget if it's Bondi or Bondi. I think it's Bondi, right? I gotta look into that because it's so weird. This game is, like, made by Rockstar, or at least, like, you know, sanctioned by Rockstar, basically. Known for Grand Theft Auto, of course, and Red Dead Redemption. But, yeah, it's weird. Nobody, like, in this game is Australian, or at least they hide their accents well, because obviously it's supposed to be, you know, taking place in America, of course. But yeah, no Australian accents, like, whatsoever from, like, an Australian production development company.
This is supposed to be the registered offices of the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
This is an Elysian housing development, Mac.
So Elysian is an investor in the redevelopment fund.
Looks that way.
Are we done here, Mac? I've got work to do.
Sure, buddy. Thanks for your help. Elysian are investors in the suburban redevelopment. So what? If you think I'm putting my pension on the line and harassing Leland Monroe without evidence, you're out of your mind. Lynch says we should visit him at Fire Station 32.
Who exactly is this guy, Lynch?
Lynch is a legend. You should feel privileged. He doesn't let many people into the inner sanctum. Keep your mouth shut, and you'll learn something about fires.
Yeah, and there's smoke over there on the horizon, which is interesting, too. I wonder if there was anything that we could do in this particular little area here, because it almost seems like they want me to come in and then immediately leave, which is weird. But yeah, there's a fire on the horizon. That fire almost seems like in progress. I'm assuming it's just one of the houses we've already visited, basically. So we'll go directly to the fire chief or whoever he was, because, yeah, I remember he said in the last episode that he wanted us to follow up on him after we follow up on our leads, basically.
You like to leave your mark, don't you?
Listen, I'm trying my best, okay? I'm not a perfect driver, all right? I'm just a wee bit impatient getting from location to location. What can I say? All right, so let's go this way. Yeah, the other thing I was thinking about, too, is, like, it's interesting that some of these cars are not police cars. Like, this one right here, it seems like a normal old-school car, but it's outfitted with the siren. So I don't know how common that was back in the day. Engine Company number 32.
We came as soon as we could.
You brought in the case for that poor lady killed near City Hall.
Biggs, you two investigating the house fire on Kenmore Avenue as well?
Yep. Why?
I had a look around the place while I was out there.
Do you believe the fire?
I deal in facts, Phelps. Evidence of an explosion. No obvious sign of accelerants. Wiring looks intact. Come and take a look at this.
This the heater from the Sawyer fire, Al?
Yes, it is.
Huh. Looks like it was recently serviced.
I have a theory, and it's a theory only. I don't have enough evidence to prove...
Al, if you say it's so, we're listening.
Okay, Phelps. You're a bright penny. You have a gas supply. You have a Bunsen burner as a pilot light. You have a regulator valve, and the balloon represents the gas expanding in the room. Now, the gas has to make contact with the mosquito coil to form an explosion. Let's see if you can work out the chain of events.
Okay. So, yeah, the mosquito coil at the back there will trigger the explosion. The gas is going to fill up and then eventually pop. That would trigger the explosion, right? The gas popping near the mosquito coil, I would think. So I'm going to put the gas here.
The gas bubble needs to be next to the coil if it's going to ignite.
Right. That's what I did, right? And then this is a regulator valve. And then this is just like a, I don't know what that is. It's like a T-bar. Where would I put that? So that would either be before or after, but I really don't know how that would work. The regulator valve you would think would be near the front, right? Because it would regulate the flow of gas sooner. I don't really know how this stuff works, but I'll put that there. And then this here? Because, I mean, this one, like, goes up, but there's nothing to go up to. I can move this one all the way to the left?
Come on, Phelps. You need to get the arrangement right before we can reproduce the results.
Well, I don't understand how it works. Okay, so the Bunsen burner... Yeah, I forgot that that was the Bunsen burner part. Okay, well, I'm assuming that that's on the left then. So I'm going to put this down here. What would be the point of the balloon? Yeah, I'm just... Oh. Okay, so wait, maybe... So the regulator valve, yeah, would go here, and then, like...
Good, your regulator's in position.
Okay, so regulator goes in the middle. What would the point of the balloon... I mean, this would make sense to me, because then the Bunsen burner... I guess the gas goes into the regulator, you adjust it, and then maybe the balloon just gets bigger and bigger and blows up quickly.
Okay, I'll light your pilot and turn the gas on.
You pull the lever on the left to turn on.
So that's how it's being done.
Maybe. There could be a fault with these valves. I've adjusted this one for our experiment, but you need to take it to InstaHeat and see what they say. Their headquarters is on North Harvard Boulevard, number 262.
Thanks, Albert.
You're welcome, Biggs. See you at the next show.
The next show. Also, I'm going to check and see if there's any intuition show all clues here. You never know. Like I said, this game is cheeky with a capital C. Okay. So, yeah, he's basically saying somebody could be messing with these things in an elaborate readjustment.
The next fire. We should go to the factory and see how many of these things are going bang in the night.
You know this Chapman character?
Guy's a freak. Loves fires. He's the kind of guy that we'd like for a lot of things, but we don't really have any credible evidence to pursue him with.
The other thing I was going to say, too, is that Rusty was narrating the beginning of the game, if you remember. I was wondering why his voice...
Any Century Unit, 211 in progress, 522 South Hill Street, unit to handle code 3, identify.
I was wondering why his voice sounded so familiar, and it's because he was literally the narration intro. You know, he's talking about... I feel like there was a couple of narrations, wasn't there, where he was basically saying, you know, when you're in the depths of LA, you gotta be on your toes, Cole, stuff like that, right? So that was definitely Rusty, which is probably important considering... Is that the same fire? I feel like we keep seeing these fires over and over. Considering now he's our partner, of course. Okay, so let's pause and go this way. We're trying to get to the InstaHeat. Oops, sorry. Try to get to the InstaHeat headquarters to see if it's faulty equipment or if it's being tampered with, basically. So there's InstaHeat.
Indecisive. Now, I'm not so sure.
LAPD detectives, ma'am. We need to speak to someone in charge.
I see. Well, duty manager for today is Mr. Rasick. You should find him in his office.
Ivan Rasick.
Never get into fights with ugly people. They have nothing to lose. I think his name is Phelps. He brought in the case for that poor lady killed near City Hall.
Is this the guy? Doesn't seem like the main desk or anything. I guess, yeah, this is just like not a room where we'd find the guy in charge. So let's go. Oh,
I'm out of here.
I'm gonna get good and tight come Friday.
New and improved model. We'll be selling these like hotcakes.
$82.50.
What the hell?
What the hell, Lois? Okay, manager is this away. But it almost seems like we can find clues right now. That wasn't really a clue, though. We do not have a show all clues option. Okay, where's this guy at? Got some lockers, no receiving. Looks like this is just a dead end. That's the room where we were in previously. I guess back here.
Detective Phelps and Biggs, arson. We're investigating a couple of house fires. What can you tell us about this?
Pressure regulator from a Model 70, yeah. Let me take a look. We have a problem. This has been tampered with.
What?
You see this diaphragm? It forms a seal across the saddle here. Gas flows across from here to here. The diaphragm regulates flow. It's been reversed. It's a subtle change, but it means the gas never closes off properly.
So yeah, definitely tampering. Ivan Rasic, InstaHeat factory manager, InstaHeat Model 70.
So you're telling me that this is not a manufacturing fault or service repair?
I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with the design.
That seemed a little dodgy. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with the design. See, again, it's so hard to tell. The way that his tone was dodgy, but then he's looking at us dead on here. Doubt.
You're telling me that you've never had any problems with this heater?
Look, we've changed the design since the Model 70.
These things are still being installed?
It's the demand. None of us could keep up with the amount of housing going up. At the budget end, we're still using some of the old stock. We are installing 100 heaters a week. They're not all faulty.
They're not all safe either.
Jeez, Ivan Rasic's statement. Heater service history.
Are these diaphragms prone to failure?
They tend to go after a while. The rubber lasts quite a few years and then it perishes.
So the guys' names that I've been seeing doing the repairs on the heaters, they're fully licensed and accredited.
Sure, of course they are.
Okay, that's a doubt, probably. I don't think we have any evidence against the contrary, right? Heater service by Ryan, but we don't know who Ryan is. Regulator valve. Yeah, that's going to be a doubt.
You employ accredited mechanics to do this.
We call them installers. Technically, they're gas fitters.
Installers, then?
They know what they're doing, Detective, if that's what you're trying to imply.
I want you to get me a copy of the list of your installers.
Okay, I'll get it for you. There, around a dozen of them. Housing business is going crazy at the moment.
What is America going to understand?
This is a long shot. We are not going to rouse that whole list.
I don't.
I want to
how
run
was
it by
that?
R&I, cross-reference for arsonists. See if any of these guys have any previous. Sir, I need to use your phone.
Go right ahead.
How is that not a doubt? Because he was definitely lying, but I'm pretty sure we did not have evidence. I mean, we could have chosen one of the names, but we don't know those people.
Like you always
so I'm very, again, just like so confused with this game. But okay, fair enough.
Operator, give me dispatch.
What the hell?
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need to know if any of the following names have a previous criminal history.
Okay, Detective, run the names.
Acevedo Ernesto, Clemens Walter, Elgram John, Gable Leroy, Kelligrew Peter, Kuttner Robert, Limehouse Albert, Manning Franklin, Neves Raymond, O'Brien Thomas, Ryan Matthew, Spurgeon William, Varley Reginald, Zurich Stephen.
Clemens Walter. Previous conviction for arson and malicious damage. Burned down a house in Westwood in 1942. 4-year jail term.
Thanks.
Ryan Matthew. Charged for contempt of court. Attempted murder. Plea bargain down to assault charge.
Anyone else?
There is a Reginald Varley wanted for murder by Detroit Police Department.
Thanks. You've been a big help, young lady.
You want to grab me too with ketchup and a root beer?
The employment roster is quite the rogues gallery, Mr. Rasick. Desperate times indeed.
Okay, yeah, that was quite interesting. One of the second name was one that serviced one of those insta-heats. The other two I don't think we saw. Maybe there was two different names that serviced the two different boxes. I want to look at this real quick. There's like a clue right here. I guess it's just the paper that he already gave us, I'm assuming. Okay. Yeah, I guess we need to talk to him again now.
Do you have an address for Clemens?
He's working on an apartment building on Catalina and 3rd.
What about Ryan?
Currently working at a housing development on Normandy and 1st Street.
Varley, where is he?
Beverly and Mariposa, currently working on a new housing development. Hey, Varley's a good guy. You can't harass all my people.
These guys have lockers.
Yes, they do, but my men have a right to some privacy. Don't you need a warrant or something?
Show him and keep quiet.
And he's just going to comply. I really wonder, yeah, how this was back in the day. Like, did they just get away with this?
Happy now?
Because I feel like if I was in this situation, I'd be like, no, you're going to need a warrant. I'm not just going to, like, let you do this. But maybe back in the day, you know, the cops were just so rough and tumble, they literally just assault you and you really couldn't do anything. I don't know. I'm curious.
Stick around, Mr. Rasick.
Okay, so we should have 3 different lockers here. Walter Clemens. This was the guy that was convicted and only served 4 years?
Clemens is a fellow traveler.
A traveler. Yeah, I was thinking like 4 years sounds really low for arson, right? Law and Authority, an anarchist essay. Pierre Kropotkin. Price 5 cents. Anarchist Society. Oh. Is that it? That was really weird. Why did it let me open that, but then he didn't really say anything about it? So he picks this up automatically, and then it makes a noise that we can open it up, but I don't think we really need to read this entire thing. There's nothing else that I can do with it. Very bizarre, because it almost seems like there's going to be something else we can find there. All right, so he's an anarchist, which is interesting. We got Matthew Ryan, whose name was on one of the boxes. Oh.
Probably nothing.
Okay. Pliers, and then a whole stack of these anarchist pamphlets.
Some light reading on the merciless capitalist machine. Ryan wants the world to be a better place. Don't we all?
Don't we all? Okay, looks like that's about it for that one. And then there should be one more locker. Reginald Farley, who the dude says is a good guy. Oh.
The company went through thousands of these in the war. Still got eaten alive.
So he's got the mosquito coil, which is presumed to be how they're doing these arson.
Varley has a problem with bugs.
These arson instances. Okay, so Varley seems to be the prime suspect now. And he was wanted for murder, right?
You know that a mosquito coil takes an hour to burn down, Rasick?
No, I didn't know that.
It's the favorite choice of ignition by arsonists. Gives them time to get away.
You're crazy. He probably lives near the canals in Venice. Mind if I leave you to it? I got work waiting.
He lives near the canals in Venice?
3 birds. Clemens, Ryan, Varley. Where to, Phelps?
I almost want to say Varley first. Varley, to me, seems like the obvious, you know, they all have some implication here. Okay, was that just a scene showing our guy? Oh, so we're just supposed to pick the real one? Oh. So that's interesting.
Farley's on the run. He might be packing heat. If he's wanted for murder, I say we take the doubt out of the equation and let him have it.
You nervous?
It's been a while.
You were in combat.
In 1917. You know, I never fired my weapon in the line of duty.
That's nothing to be ashamed of. I hope your piece is still serviceable, Herschel.
I may be old and out of practice, but I'm still a Marine, Phelps.
It would be better for our case.
I'm curious if you have to pick the right one, or the house goes up in flames if you're wrong.
LAPD, Varley! Stop or I'll shoot!
This was not the guy, but he's running for it. Weird. Also, we have our gun out. We might be able to do a warning shot now. Oh, we can. Ah, so... Oh! I did not mean to shoot that. So we can do a warning shot, which is super interesting. Kind of messed it up at the last second there. I'm going to try to go for it here, I think.
Running forever.
Got him.
Stop or I will shoot!
I really like that mechanic. I kind of wish they did it more. They don't ever do it, really.
Why did you run from us, Varley?
I'm gonna take a wild guess that you're the same Reginald Varley the Detroit police have an outstanding warrant on. How am I doing so far?
I need a lawyer before I talk to any of you.
Reginald Varley, you're under arrest for committing a series of arsons. You're also under arrest for murder. Detroit PD will be putting in a request for your extradition. Until then, you're a guest of the city.
Arson? You can't hang that rap on me.
Be quiet. Be thankful we don't shoot you.
Are all the cops in this town crazy?
Take him away, officer.
Stop a fleeing suspect with a warning shot. Achievement unlocked. Okay, so that's just any shot. So I guess we've got the other guys, right? Ryan's worksite and Clemens. Clemens had... Okay, so Matthew Ryan's was the one with all of the anarchist stuff. Clemens just had the one. So I'm confused. Crap, I almost feel like we messed up here. The way that it seems to be set up here is that you need to pick... Oh, it's literally right here. You need to pick the right house. But, I mean, we stopped a wanted murderer, right? So, that's good.
This is terrible.
Isn't it? Okay, but he's, like, literally right over here.
Are you Matthew Ryan?
Who's asking?
Detective Phelps and Biggs, arson squad.
Arson?
You heard the man.
Let's just put this stuff in the car and I'll be right with you.
Hold it, Ryan. I said...
Son of a bitch.
Big surprise there.
Those are GI's backyards he's crashing through.
The damage is only cosmetic.
He's a one-man wrecking ball.
Move in. I'll take out the van.
Well, I'm right on him.
Games, Phelps. Take this guy out.
I'm literally,
I
like...
want to kill those men.
They'll get out of the way.
Only if they hear him coming.
Close in, Phelps. We need to take Ryan down before he hurts somebody.
Well, shoot your
Keep it
shot,
steady,
man.
I'll try to bust his tires. Smash the son of a bitch's rear wheels.
Brother, I am trying. You need to be patient, please. I gotta also, like, watch his car to see, like, when he turns.
You gotta get me closer.
You're right there, man. This is all you.
He's got an arson-related assault charge, and he's running.
Running don't mean nothing. We gotta get this guy in a room before we can get an angle on him.
This man has got to be stopped.
Like, they're just like, we gotta stop this man 100 times. Like, yeah, I agree.
Give it up, LAPD!
Didn't really
Why
trigger
did you
there for
run,
a second.
I was scared.
You got a reason to be scared, Ryan?
Matthew Ryan, I'm arresting you on suspicion of committing a series of arsons.
Okay, guess we're just rounding everybody up, and then we maybe have to interview them. The one, it's difficult to tell whether it's Ryan or the other guy. The other guy's wanted for murder. So it's almost weird that there would be like a...
KGPL to any central unit. Meet the officer. A hit-and-run felony at 6th and Alvarado. Any unit able to handle. Code 2 identified.
It's odd that there would be like a murderer and an arsonist like involved in the same case, but also this is a video game, so maybe that's just how it is. It's very difficult to tell. I'm assuming they're just having us round up these three, and then we're going to have to make an educated guess as to which one is the real arsonist. Now, to me, it's the last guy, which was the one with the V, Varley, because like he had the mosquito coil. Everything was kind of revolving around the mosquito coil. But also Matthew Ryan did service the house that blew up, so I don't know. As usual, this game is so hard to tell, man. Clemens worksite.
Biggs, LAPD. We want some answers, and we want them quick.
Okay, okay. What's this all about? Just tell me what you want.
This was the guy we saw in the cutscene, right? Because I was going to say the dude that we saw in the cutscene had a hat. This is the only guy with the hat. Knowledge of Varley.
You know Reginald Varley?
No? Can't say I do.
That's a doubt, at least. Do we have evidence going against it? Competition ticket, suburban, heater serviced by Ryan. Destroyed after being serviced by Matthew Ryan. I don't know, but again, it's so hard. Does that prove that he knows him? He works for the same company. Regulator valve, Insta-Heat model, heater serviced by Varley. Is that proof? Again, it's so hard to tell. Pressure regulator tampering, list of gas fitters. Clemens' criminal record. Okay, so this guy has a prior conviction for arson. Wow. Ryan's criminal record, Varley's criminal record, Clemens' anarchist pamphlet. It's just so hard to tell, man. Like, literally, they're all here.
You look like you haven't got a clue.
Well, because it's like, this could prove it, or it could not. It's so freaking hard. I'm just going to say doubt.
Detroit PD is after Reginald Varley for murder. You want us to run you in for aiding and abetting, Clemens?
Whoa, 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 whoa. All I know about Varley is he gets kickbacks from some developer. Does their work first. Spreads it around if he can.
Does their work first? Walter Clemens' statement. Employment with Insta-Heat.
You were licensed and worked for Insta-Heat?
I contract for them. So what?
I guess that would be a doubt. Yeah, there was a weird thing about that. I mean, we failed this question, too, with the other guy. The fact that he's, like, contracted or whatever that means. I guess that's a doubt there. Ease of pressure, yeah. List of gas, fittings. I don't see how we could prove that he's not that, so I'm going to just say doubt.
Insta-Heat hires arsonists, does it?
I've worked as a fitter all my life. Put everything I had into that house. And my fucking mud shark of a wife gets awarded it in the settlement. She's blowing spics 2 at a time while I'm at work. And she gets the house. Yeah, I burnt it all right. Set fire to that fucker and watched it burn to the ground. I did my time and I'd do it again.
Sorry about the rouse, Clemens. You did the right thing.
Wait, what? Sorry about the rouse? You did the right thing? I'm sorry, did our partner just say he did the right thing and shake this guy's hand by burning down the house? What? Knowledge of Ryan.
Do you know Matthew Ryan?
No. Don't know the name.
That's a doubt again, right?
His locker is right next to yours.
Oh, the pamphlets.
Okay, so I know Ryan.
Damn it.
All right, Clemens. You're off the hook for the moment.
Can I get back to work now?
Let's get out of here, Phelps. He ain't our guy. We have 3 suspects. As much as I'd like it to be Chapman, I think it's one of the other 2 guys. Let's get to the station and close this case.
Okay, well, the mosquito coil would be the one that I would think, which is Varley, right? Yeah, crap, I forgot about the pamphlet, so that would prove that he knew Ryan. So now we gotta go back and choose one of these suspects in the firing of the house. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the mosquito coil man. Not entirely sure, but that's at least what I would bet. So let's go ahead and head back to the police station and figure out what we can figure out. which is right over here. Boom, ba-da-doom, doom, bang, da-da-da-doom. But it's hard to tell because, yeah, I mean, Matthew serviced the house right before it exploded, so wouldn't you think it was him, although maybe the other guy pinned it on him.
I have two suspects. Phelps, you got nothing. Biggs, Ryan's waiting for you in interview 1. Varley's in 2.
Hey, Hopkins, you practicing your asshole routine again? Come on, Phelps.
Charging a suspect will close the case. Okay, let's start with number 1.
Save yourself some time and get this thing off your chest.
If that's your opening gambit, you better try again.
This guy looks familiar too, man. Every person in this game looks so familiar, it's crazy. Instaheat Model 70.
You know how to reverse a diaphragm in the regulator valve of a Model 70 heater?
No, I don't.
That's a doubt. Sorry for the yawning, by the way. It is pretty late for me at the moment, but I just wanted to play more freaking LA Noire, you know? Did we have something here? This was this guy. Factory manager Ivan Rasik testifies to ease of pressure regulator tampering. So he's saying it's easy right there, but say lie.
If you know enough to do your job, you know enough to do that repair. You're lying, Ryan.
And how do you think you can prove that?
I mean, that's pretty close, and like, what else would this be used for? The manager's literally saying it's easy to tamper with it.
Your boss at InstaHeat said that you've all been trained to do it. It's a common repair. Are you calling him a liar?
Okay, so I know how it's done. But what would be the point? You just end up with a gas leak and then a small fire when you turn the pilot back on.
And if you didn't reset the pilot and the gas spread, what was the cause of the fire in your own home, Ryan?
I won't tell you.
Okay, suburban redevelopment.
What can you tell me about the Suburban Redevelopment Fund?
Nothing.
Okay, that's at least a doubt.
Tell me the truth, Ryan. It's the only chance you've got. You're getting some kind of kickback from the fund.
So I'm an agitator for change, but I take kickbacks. How does that make any sense?
It's nothing personal. I'm just doing my job. You understand that?
So I think this is doubt because he said the other guy was getting kickbacks, not this guy, right?
I think Suburban is a front for your anarchist buddies. They're arranging for people to be out of town while you burn their houses down.
Suburban? What's that got to do with me? That's Varley's bilk. He's the one with the cozy agreement with those fascists.
Okay, so yeah, Varley is the one working with Suburban for sure. The question is who did this, though. I mean, I guess Varley, because he has the mosquito coils. Anarchist literature.
So you want to change the world, Ryan?
Yes, I do. So does every reasonable person.
And you're doing your part?
Yes, I am.
Does that include sabotaging water heaters to destroy a company?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Clearly does, so that's at least a doubt.
This is industrial sabotage, Ryan. It's all part of your campaign.
You're delusional, detective. What campaign?
What campaign? Yeah, I don't think we have evidence for that. I think that's a doubt. Testifies to Varley. Gas fitter Walter Clemens testifies to being offered kickbacks by Varley. Mosquito coils, anarchists. Varley's criminal... yeah, this guy seems like a red herring, honestly. Contempt and assault, but not for arson. Criminal record for arson. Yeah, I think I've got it mostly figured out, so I think here we say doubt.
You don't ask, you never find out. Last chance, Ryan. You level with me or I'm sending you to the DA. A conviction for sedition and murder will do wonders for his re-election campaign.
Nice try. But I got nothing to lose.
I wonder what that one was. It might have just been he's telling the truth. Attempted murder charge.
You have a history of violence.
I have no such thing.
So that's a doubt or a lie.
You're lying, Ryan.
And how exactly are you going to prove that?
Yeah, wouldn't we have literally like a charge for him there? So we need something involving his attempted murder charge. Conspiring, being offered kickbacks, anarchist propaganda. Varley's criminal record, Ryan's criminal record, right here.
You were charged with attempted murder, Ryan.
It was a court case. No criminal liability was the verdict. They said that they couldn't have known that the faulty heater installation would cause a fire. All I know is I lost my whole family. And the company that was responsible got away with it. What would you do?
Which company?
Hephaestus Water Heater Company.
It's got to be the other guy. I'm going to leave interrogation.
That's it for the moment, Ryan.
So I can go?
Sure. As soon as your red friends storm the building and carry you out, you'll keep your seat until we decide how long to lock you up for, knucklehead.
Okay, so it's got to be this other guy. The guy is tied to the Suburban whatever
Ryan
fund.
is our man. But procedure says we eliminate all of the suspects. Let's speak to Varley.
Let's do it. Looks like interview 2 is over this way somewhere. Where's interview 2? Bum bum bim boom. Interview 2. I swear to God, they like. I swear this place is like designed to trick you. It just said interview room 2 is that away, and then I went that way, and there's like no room there. What is happening here?
I don't go in for letting gangsters off scot-free.
Interview room 2 is this way. Maybe I just read the arrow wrong. Where is 2, man? Interview room 2 is this way. It's got to be this one here.
This guy gave his wife a tap. I'd say all's fair in love and war.
We have Matthew Ryan in custody, Varley. I think all we need to do is ask him about this, and he'll rat you out.
Fuck Ryan, that pinko bastard.
Work at Sawyer residence.
Have you ever worked on a place on Rosewood Avenue? Family by the name of Sawyer?
Maybe. I'm from out of town. I go where they send me. I don't do a lot of repairs, though. I'm flat out on new installations.
Flat out on new installations. This is a lie, right? Because we have the service.
Why are you lying to me, Varley? If Suburban wants their new installations completed, why are you bothering with wrecks like the Sawyer house?
So I'm lying just because I can't remember if I was there or not? How can you prove that I was?
We have his service statement, right? Heater service by Varley at the Sawyer house.
Your name is on the inside door of their water heater.
Okay. You got me there. Suburban, yeah, they wanted that guy out. Sawyer kept complaining about not being able to get his heater service, so they threw in a free service as a sweetener. I think he played him, though, because he still wouldn't sell.
Suburban redevelopment.
Word is, you're in the pocket of some property developer?
Never. I got principles.
How did Suburban put the squeeze on you? Did they find out about your record?
There's no way you can link me to Suburban. You're wasting your time.
Am I, though? Because I literally have Walter Clemens' statement being offered kickbacks by Reginald Varley. Varley conspiring. Yeah, both of these. We're going to go with this one, though.
Ryan says you offered to cut him in on the kickbacks they were offering. He'll testify in court.
Suburban, they got real-time pressure on getting some of the big developments finished. There's some big date that they can't afford to miss. So yeah, I took their money. But so did a lot of guys, all right? Carpenters, electricians, plumbers. It's no big conspiracy.
Okay, InstaHeat Model 70.
What would reversing the diaphragm of an InstaHeat Model 70 do?
Yeah, I made that mistake before. You get a big bang when you turn the pilot back on.
So you didn't deliberately sabotage the water heater at the Sawyer house?
No, I did not. You out of your mind?
I don't believe you, Varley. I think Suburban wants homeowners who don't want to sell out of the way.
I think you're out of your mind. Where is the evidence that I have done anything to contribute to this fire, huh?
Where's the evidence that he's done anything to contribute to the fire? Gas filter Matthew Ryan testifies to Varley conspiring with Suburban. Gas fitter Walter being offered kickbacks by Varley. Oh, mosquito coils. Wait, yeah, where is the evidence? It's the mosquito coils, isn't it? It would be that. I'm going to say that.
Arsonists use cigarettes and mosquito coils as time delay fuses. We found an open box of mosquito coils in your locker.
Whoa, hang on. Those things, they belong to Ryan, all right? He asked me to hold them because his locker's full of stupid pamphlets. I thought he used them for camping.
What? Oh, God. Okay, that really threw things... I mean, he could just straight up be lying there, but if he's telling the truth... Okay, so the thing is that this guy serviced the Sawyer house, right? And then the Sawyer house blew up. Man, that really threw me off. But this guy was wanted for, like, murder or something, right? I'm gonna leave.
We're done for now.
So what happens?
You're either going back to Detroit to face a murder rap, or you're staying here to answer for these arsons.
I want to make
Charging a suspect will close a case. Man, oh man, this game is hard. There's just like no clear thing. We just got a new outfit, the Hawkshaw. Take an extra dose of damage and stay standing. But we're gonna go with what we had. Yeah, I don't know. This one's really tough. They both literally were on the, you know, the service door. But if he's telling the truth that Ryan had the things... God, that's tough. Let's take a look at clues. Because Varley's criminal record was for arson, wasn't it? Wanted for murder. And then what was Ryan's criminal record? Contempt and assault. Ah, man, that's tough. He's saying it was Ryan's? Ryan's just seems to be an anarchist, and, like, that's the main thing. I'm going to say it's Varley. I don't know, man. This game is so hard. Like, genuinely. Unless I'm just so stupid, I'm not realizing. Heater serviced by Varley, and this was at the Sawyer... Yeah, and that... Wait, so Sawyer family heater destroyed after being serviced by Reginald Varley. And then this one, heater serviced by Ryan after being serviced by Matthew Ryan. One of the ones, where did we find the regulator? We found the regulator valve, yeah. Recovered from Sawyer. Okay, so wait, Sawyer house fire. And that was serviced by Varley. The regulator valve. So, and that's the one that was tampered with. This guy, God, this is tough. The other guy knows how to do the tampering. Is it literally Ryan? But this guy has the Suburban stuff. Like, genuinely, what even is it? Like, it's so hard to even tell. The other guy lied about being able to tamper with the thing. I'm just going to go for Ryan. It's so hard to tell, but the other guy lied, and then this guy almost sounds truthful that he's saying that he, you know, stored the mosquito coils for Ryan. And Ryan could literally just be trying to,
I don't know who'd be worse.
you know, try to frame him or whatever. So yeah, we'll go with Ryan. I really don't know. I don't know what the correct answer is. Where are these freaking interview rooms, man? I can like never find these. Interview room 1. Where are you? I swear it just like tells me and then it's just like, nope, now I'm taking it away.
Goddamn captain's making me resubmit the paperwork.
Bro, where is interview room 1? I feel like I'm going crazy. Interview... You are like actually kidding me, right? Where is it, man? Interview room 1. It says it's to the right, so it's got to just be around this corner somewhere. But then it like disappears here when I go around the corner.
I say we bust in there and find the goddamn evidence.
Interview... Where's interview room 1?
He drove me up to Mulholland. And we did
I'm like losing my mind. This is insanity. There, right?
I've been in this job 20 years.
Is this interview room 2? I'm gonna lose my mind. Interview room 2. Where's interview? What is
I'm thinking
this?
of moving up to a 45. I want to put him
What
down
is
one round.
this? Okay. Interview room 1 to the left. But where? Okay, here it is. Man, Jesus. All right, anyways, what up? Charge suspect.
Matthew Ryan, I'm charging you with committing a series of arsons and for the murders of Hank Sawyer Edwina Sawyer, Henry Sawyer, and Jessica Sawyer.
You're putting an innocent man away here. You hear me? I didn't set any fires. I didn't kill that family.
Phelps, what you did to your wife and kids was un-American.
My wife threw me out.
Did I ask for your opinion? You're here to listen to mine. What I was going to say, before I was interrupted, was you did a good job on the Stephen Sawyer case. We don't often get results in arson, so well done.
What about me? Do I get a little stamp on my hand or a lollipop or something?
What you get is another case. A bad one, unfortunately.
I was going to say that's pretty good there. Okay, so we missed about 4 questions. Matthew Ryan fronts the grand jury with 4 murder charges around his neck. Was that correct? Is there even a correct answer? I don't know. The Gas Man.
You're 2 blocks behind 1st and 2nd.
We have more buildings to clear. You know our orders,
There's
Sergeant.
barely a building left standing or not on fire in your zone, Cole. Is your sector full of Japs?
Questioning my command.
The captain doesn't want anyone falling behind.
Tell the captain we will join him when the job is done.
Just give us the word, Sarge. We'll take care of him. He should be sectioned. That Jap lover's a fucking liability.
We're here to kill Japs, not our own people.
Star-crossed son of a bitch. No one wants to serve under him. He's bad fucking luck.
Can it? We have a job to do here. If I can live with it, you can too.
A walk in Elysian Fields.
House fire, bad one. At least 4 Vicks. Get out there and find out what you can. The address is 650 North Hobart.
All right, right into another case immediately. Also, what was that cutscene there?
Why is the word abbreviation?
I don't know if that's related to the case that we're doing right now, but it almost seemed like somebody that, you know, the mastermind criminal or something, making origami swans with probably newspaper articles related to,
There he is,
you know,
the cop in the newspapers. You should be
arson cases or something. I don't know. That was interesting.
I thought this was such a nice area.
Okay, car is back here, but let's go ahead and grab this bad boy. I'll take you. Don't mind if I do. Come on. In you go. There you go.
You heard about Rancho Escondido?
Are we having a conversation, Biggs?
Okay, fuck it. Forget
I'm teasing you, Herschel. Tell me about it.
Well, the new housing development's a couple of weeks from completion. Burned to the ground last night. GIs are ready to move in this weekend. Developer's gonna have some very angry customers. A shame about Jep. The arson desk has been trying to nail that son of a bitch for years.
He's still in custody, Herschel.
Wanna bet? They'll have kicked him loose already. Can't hold him for misdemeanor cigarettes and matches.
Misdemeanor cigarettes and matches. Okay. So another day, another fire. We'll be wrapping up this episode in a second when we get a little saving icon in the bottom right. Now, I do know there's a DLC case for this desk, by the way. I don't know which one it is. It's probably just going to be the one that feels obviously the most different, you know, out of the other cases. But yeah, apparently there's not a DLC for Homicide, which is very surprising. You would think that would be the main one that would get a DLC case. But now there is one for Arson. As far as I know, I have done it, because I think I did all the DLCs back in the day. But I don't remember anything about what the case involves, or what this case involves for that matter. Also, no save? What are you gonna save? Maybe it saved that I didn't realize it when we started driving over to this place. Okay, let's pull into here. House fire, 12 p.m. And there's our save. So that'll be where we end this episode, ladies and gentlemen. Things are heating up. Thanks so much for watching. This channel and series is brought to you by the patrons at patreon.com/Grovana. If you'd like to sign up and be a part of them, I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.